So now we start our closing ceremony, and I'm very glad to show the director of our institute, Anatoly Popovich. He's here. So we will do such thing. First of all, we will look through about history of these projects, how it starts. Well, this historical photo may be the first meeting Marco, Dominic, and well, Vladimir, Tatiana, Alexei. What to do? The main question, what shall we do? Okay, next. Okay, next. Well, here you can see this room before reconstruction and after reconstruction. Please find 10 differences. Okay, next please. So this is also the ceiling of this room, and so on. Okay, next. So here you can see our closing ceremony. All faces are known to you. Next. Okay, so this is the opening one. How to start. Next. This is the process of making ideas. Next. Here are photos of some excursions. This is damp. Next. So here's this list of the excursions. Russian Museum Hermitage, Hermitage 2, Museum of Tram, Damp, Vodokanal, Art Space Taiga Etaji, Design Studios, and so on. Next. This is Fab Lab Studio. Next. Also, Fab Lab, and my great thanks for Fab Lab for help in our project. Next. So this is the cultural point of our project and of my first short presentation. The last, please. This is the last. Okay. And now I would like to show you the film that was made by English students and English tutors. Okay, who will present it?
Say something about it. Okay, now we have just a quick 5-minute video that is sort of a compilation of footage that Joel has put together for us very quickly. There will be a more edited version coming out after the trip, but this is what we have for now, which hopefully tells the story. I haven't seen it yet, but tells the story of what you guys have been up to.
Okay. I'll start with group 1. Okay, so in short, we were looking at the problem of dirt in St. Petersburg, which isn't a unique problem to St. Petersburg, and there are solutions to it in other countries. And despite it being an issue for individual people, it's not considered a wider issue for the state, and so that's why these solutions aren't implemented. We came up with the Clear the Air campaign, which was to give a voice to all the people so that they can unite their feelings towards clearing the dirt and get these solutions implemented by the people that have influencing powers. Although this was a whole campaign of social media and lots of stuff, our basic products that we were going to start with was a toolkit, which had 3 items. Next slide. The centerpiece of which was a poster, and you receive this poster and it's white. You put it outside in an area where it's dusty, and over time this image will start to appear, which will spread the message, raise awareness, and hopefully could start sharing this network of we want to clean the city. And that was our project.
Hello everybody, my name is Oliver. Our group wanted to create more sustainable water consumption culture for St. Petersburg and Russia. And Russia has the world's largest freshwater resources, but then again, drinking fresh water is not common in Russia, and people have all kinds of bad perceptions about water. That's why we designed a water distribution system with public water dispenser system or units placed on strategic locations around the city. And we want to encourage people to use fresh water, which is the healthiest drink available, and cut down the use of plastic bottles. That's it.
Hello, my name is Yuri. We're Team 3. Consumption was our topic. And we decided to work with the fishermen community of St. Petersburg. They're about 10% of the population of St. Petersburg. There's a lot of people, and they face lots of dangers like falling through the ice and getting drifted away into the Baltic Sea, and we decided to see if we can help them to avoid those dangers. So we came up with we came up with a system which is basically can be divided into 2 parts. The first part can be implemented within a few weeks, actually, which is, it's basically a web application which collects information from different sources on the internet and delivers it to the fishermen on different platforms like your smartphone, your computer, or for the less technology-oriented people, through a phone or even the radio. And more futuristic vision is creating a device, a robotic hovercraft, which will be able to go on the ice as a tool for the club to collect this information themselves instead of relying on, I don't know if they're reliable or not, information on the internet. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, we are Group 4. I'm Krish, and if you want to go on. So we presented to you Spectrum, colors of the city to you. And in our project, we wanted to demonstrate that any city can be beautiful in its own ways. You just have to look hard enough to find exactly where all the beauty actually lays. So when we set out in our journey here in St. Petersburg, we all slowly sort of got to the concept that, you know what, St. Petersburg is a very proud city to live in, and it has such true identity, true to its own, that when we created our crayons, we were proud in our own product into what we could show the people of their city. Thank you.
Hi. So we were looking at the transport in the city, and the roads are especially very busy. There's a lot of different types of vehicles on the road, and if you want to cycle, and even sometimes if you just want to walk along the pavements, it's very difficult, it's very crowded and quite dangerous. And we have this amazing resource of the waterways, so we looked at a way of having a floating platform on the waterways, which would allow cycling and walking year-round. And our design would ensure that it was safe to use, be heated to avoid icing, would be sympathetic with the other users of the river, and become a new way of experiencing the center of St. Petersburg. Thanks.
So we were Group 6, I think, and we were looking into culture. And our research began by going to some museums and seeing that discrepancy between contemporary and heritage art. If we go on to the next slide, we can see how we approach this by looking at a moment and trying to capture that moment and trying to express that moment in a non-figurative form to make contemporary art more accessible.
Hey guys, so, sorry. Aim a bit lower. So we're Group 7, we were looking at architecture and urban planning. Next slide, please. So our focus was on the abandoned buildings within the city centre of St. Petersburg, specifically the ones within the UNESCO zone, of which there are over 70. We saw these as kind of a really important part of the city's heritage that are basically slowly falling down because no one's using them. So our goal was to try and work out why these buildings were abandoned and what we could do to encourage people to start reusing them. And we found out that they were mainly abandoned because private investors had bought them and couldn't afford the remaining amount of money to refurbish them. So our goal was to try and create a way of making it cheaper to refurbish, which led us to this, which is a temporary, semi-permanent flooring solution made up of modules that can all be clipped together. So the idea is that the tripods land can be placed on uneven surfaces, so you don't have to do as much groundwork first. And because it's modular, it can be assembled and disassembled very quickly, so it can be moved from place to place if people get evicted and moved to a new location. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks very much to everyone who's been involved, and thanks for St. Petersburg Uni for hosting us.
Hi, we are Group 8. We are Transportation St. Petersburg. And if you want to go to the first slide as well, what we started off with was in St. Petersburg, how you can actually transform the transportation in St. Petersburg on a larger scale. So we've looked at a lot of possibilities, but we came up with one grand vision for the future of St. Petersburg, as we really believe that, you know, trying to bring back the space race era, where there was so much innovation, so much passion within the Russians against the West, ultimately provided a lot of possibilities. So we want to bring that back and hopefully create that kind of passion within the society again. So we came up with a utopian walkway that allows people to transport you from A to B on a sustainable and healthier living that encourages you to walk and cycle at the same time. And to achieve that, we want to create a flexible system that you can deploy and ultimately adapt with the society throughout ages ultimately. So yeah, thank you very much.
Hey everybody, Group 9, we were doing consumption as well. So we were looking at Russian society and the need for a development of a Russian design language. And so the way that we implemented that was by going and making a design book that showed up a number of different looks, styles, and identities that related to Russian design. Here are a few of the products that we also manifested this product on the right here, or the left here, I guess. And then we also did up a number of other conceptual designs. The basic premise behind these was that Russians tend to be quite reserved, but when you get to know them, there's a lot of depth and intimacy that can be had, and we wanted to embody that in our designs, as well as a simple, modern, powerful kind of look. So that was our project. Thank you.
Group 10, we were diving into the culture of St. Petersburg. Next, please. And we came up with Volodini, which we like to call monuments towards the future of St. Petersburg, a more healthy and clean and sustainable St. Petersburg. To recap, it's a faceted tower that collects rainwater with a 6-meter square roof, filters it into fresh, clean, free drinking water for everyone, and even with the environment and the amount of rain that St. Petersburg gets, it on average should produce about 150 glasses of water a day. Thank you. And the inspiration for this came from all the water around us and some of the beautiful sights that we saw, and something that was really eye-catching towards us, which was the tram lines and how they broke up the view of the city. So, thank you.
Okay, so I guess we're nearing the end of the project now. 6 or 7 months ago, when Marco and I first came out to St. Petersburg, or actually, sorry, when we first made contact with Vladimir, and then came out to St. Petersburg, you know, we had no idea like what the outputs were going to be, you know, at this point in the project. So you know, we sat down and we started kind of brainstorming what areas we might look at, and obviously Ksenia and Alex were there at this time as well. But really, you have no idea what's going to be, you know, the final outcomes of a project like this. But you know, we generated our 4 areas: consumption, culture, architecture, and transport. And you know, we were aware that there would probably be issues within these, but you know, didn't yet know exactly what they were. And of course, it's then up to you guys to try and find out exactly what these problems are and what you know, where you need to design. And I think you guys have all done a fantastic job of actually exploring the city, really engaging with it, and finding out what these issues are, and gaining these insights, so that you can come up with some really interesting ideas. And yeah, I think overall you have come up with some fantastic ideas, and hopefully this forms the start of, you know, perhaps some projects which can be taken on by perhaps the Russian students here or the staff, and something could actually come of them. So I think the first round of applause that I want is actually for you guys, for IDE and Russian students, just to say well done on a great job. But then there's some more thank yous, I guess. So first of all to Vladimir and Tatiana for sort of leading the project from their side, to the rest of the Russian tutors actually for you know, giving so much input to the students over the last 3 weeks. I think probably Ksenia needs a special mention for doing the kind of graphics work and the templates, which has been great. The Fab Lab as well also need a mention. Vladimir did say, you know, for letting you guys go and sort of run riot in there for a little bit. Then, of course, there's our tutors as well from the UK who've come out and done a great job. Joel for all the video and photography. Unfortunately, Marco wasn't able to be here for the last few days, and he had to head back because he had some health issues, but he obviously did an enormous amount of work in preparation for this trip as well. And then lastly, I think probably Kate needs a special mention as well for doing so much to help you guys and kind of translate here, there, and everywhere. So, last round of applause will be for all of these people.
Well, when I meet Mark and Dominique for the first time, well, I didn't understand nothing. Well, what to do, what the aims of our activity, what shall we do in future, what shall we do, well, next step. Now I'm really happy that this project is finished. And I'm really happy that this project finished very successfully. Now I'm sure that it is a real success. It's a real, maybe I can't say that it is a great surprise for me that we may work together. In the groups, Russian students, English students, Russian tutors, English tutors. It was a very interesting process and very interesting results. Thank you very much for taking part in such activity. All tutors, all students, and the God that, that meet us together. Thank you very much for this, and I hope that our contact must be continued. I hope that maybe in autumn we may come to London with Russian students and make, well, some short projects, well, in London with your students. We may discuss other points of communication and cooperation. I hope that we have very successful future. Thank you very much. Well, maybe there are somebody else who need to add, say some words. Yes or no? No. Oh, yes. Please. Please. Our colleagues from Fab Lab.
Greetings for everybody. It was a pleasure for us to meet you in Fab Lab Polytech. It was a bit surprise when we discussed that you may participate in this global school and join us and make something in Fab Lab. but I think that it was a very great possibility for you, and I saw what your interest, what your motivation, and it really impressed me and all our team. Thank you for participation, and hope that if you want, we can continue your projects, maybe remotely, maybe if you will visit us in the future, maybe you will participate our master degrees or something else. So you will be always welcome in our university and FabLab especially. Thank you very much.